Alright, just wanted to record a couple videos here. So the first one is asking, what is the square root of 72? So anytime you're trying to simplify this, as the instructions ask us to do, we want to do what's called prime factorization. So you want to think about, what two numbers can I multiply to get 72? Well, 36 and 2. Now what about 36? Well, that's 6 and 6. So what you notice is, this is really the same as this, right? 36 times 2 is 72. And this is really the same as square root of 36 is 6, so 6 root 2. Now, most times people will just go from here to here. They won't show this intermediate steps, but this is exactly what is happening. We realize that 72 is divisible by 36. 36 is a perfect square. That means that the square root of 36 is a number. That number is 6, and in the inside you're left with a 2. The next problem says square root of 9 over 16. This is equal to square root of 9 over square root of 16, which we of course know as 3 over 4. So when you have a square root of a fraction, you can split it into square root of the top over square root of the bottom. Okay, now we have 3 root 2 minus square root of 32. So when you're adding or subtracting radicals, you need to get these to be the same. So let's simplify this first. So this piece right here becomes, well, prime factorization, so 16 and 2, so 4 and 4. So this becomes 3 root 2 minus square root of 16 times 2, which is 3 root 2 minus 4. Square root of 16 is 4 root 2. 3 root 2 minus 4 root 2, this is like 3x minus 4x is negative root 2, because 3 minus 4 is negative 1, and the root 2's stay there. Okay. Next problem says negative 2 root 3 plus 3 root 6. So this cannot be simplified, because when you factor this, you have 3 and 2, but you can't factor anything out, because the only way you can factor is if you have like 2 2s or 2 3s. Notice that's what we did over here. We had 2 6s or 2 4s. Here you can't do anything, because this is really just this. And because these are not the same, you cannot combine this at all. So this just has to stay like this. The next one you have is 3x to the negative 2. Anytime you have a negative exponent, you bring it to the bottom and make it positive. So this is the same as this. So this negative exponent comes down here and becomes positive. Finally, x squared times y cubed. You can only just rewrite it as this. There's nothing really else you can do, because these bases are different. Okay, now we have 2x cubed plus 4x squared minus 16x, and it says find the greatest common factor, then use the x box. So all of these have a 2 in them. There's a 2 in here, there's a 2 in here, and they all have an x. So I'm going to take out a 2x, and I'll be left with x squared plus 2x minus 8x. And the way I got that is, again, 2x times x squared is 2x cubed. Add the exponents. 2x times 2x is 4x squared, and 2x times negative 8x is negative 16x. Now you can factor this using the x box. X box says the top is whatever this is times whatever this is, so 1 times negative 8 is negative 8. The bottom is this, and we need two things that multiply to negative 8 and add up to 2, so that's positive 4 and negative 2. So the x box, again, I'll do it a little slower. The top you have a times c, so remember a is the coefficient on the squared term, c is the, this shouldn't have an x, c is the coefficient of the constant. By the way, the reason this doesn't have an x is because negative 8 times 2x is 16x. You don't need another x here. The bottom is b. B is right here. And you need to find, right here, you put, so here and here, you find two terms that add to b and multiply to a times c. Then you've got this right here, so now you make this box here, and in the box you have, first term is x squared, this is negative 8, and then here you have 4x that came from here, and negative 2x that came from here. And now you just say, okay, you have x and x times what? This has to be plus 4, because x times x is x squared, x times 4 is 4x, x times negative 2 is negative 2x, negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. So this means that this equals 2x times x plus 4, there's that, times x minus 2, there's that. So again, the steps were, we found that 2x was the greatest common factor. All these have a 2, and they all have an x, so we took those out. Then we did this, and we did the x box, so we found AC, positive 1 times negative 8 is negative 8, and b is 2. We found two numbers that multiplied to negative 8, 4 and negative 2, and added to 2. Then we drew our box. This was x squared. This was negative 8. This was 4x. This was negative 2x. We solved for what goes outside, and we got this. And final question was 3x squared minus 7x squared plus 9x cubed. So 3x squared minus 7x squared is negative 4x squared plus 9x cubed. They both have an x squared, so you have x squared times negative 4 plus 9x. And there's your answer. That can't be factored anymore. Hope these videos were helpful.